Good afternoon, everybody. Kind of doing a new. Actually, I got my new webcam here. Hoping everybody likes it. It's kind of a cool thing, a little upgrade on equipment. Got some more equipment coming in. But I'm pretty happy with that. But hey, wanted to just do a very quick one. It shouldn't take more than 5 minutes. And we'll see what everyone's thoughts are on this. Because I was actually a little surprised on who submitted it and what it's about. I mean, this is just one of those weird things. It's Texas, and you just never know what's going on with this wacky people. Again, doing my legislative scan, whatever, of the bills that are coming down the pipe, and most of them are horrendous. People should be ashamed of having voted for any of these people. But I did see one from Rep Ramos, which I gotta say, I am surprised, shocked, stupefied that this bill was introduced. And everyone knows Rep Ramos. She was one of the people that dealing with trying to get our equal share parenting bill put through last session. And of course, called out one of our equal share parenting folks during that. The whole it's from Kentucky, right, and things like that. And I've bagged on her quite a bit. You can watch those videos on my site. But and actually, I have heard that she's now experiencing in one form or another kind of the other side of this. I mean, it's great when you're a family law attorney and you think the world operates, and of course the money and all that stuff. But when you're impacted by it in some way, I won't go into those details, at least on this one. But it looks like there's some change going around. I have no idea. But anyway, a new bill got introduced. I'm going to go ahead and just get right to it because I don't want to waste everybody's time here. But let me just pull up Rep Ramos here real quick. So this is Rep Ramos. If you don't know the name, know the face. I mean, a lot of things that she's done. And things that, not friendly to the equal shared parenting movement. But she's introduced a bill that kind of blows my mind. It's actually going to help, at least on the surface, from what I can read of it, it's going to help parents. Specifically the possessory student, which would be the non-custodial parent. That's usually how that works. So this bill here, was it HB 1923? In summary, I mean, just getting right down to it, is basically giving the non-custodial parent, the non-possessory parent, which actually I guess would go both ways because the whole the possessory parent at this point, but it basically gives them the ability to do video conferencing with their child. So when they don't have their kids, and I think there was an exception, there was not outside the Saturday, Sunday thing, so it doesn't include that. So it's going to be throughout the week, so more time there. The parent's going to be able to video conference with their child during times they wouldn't normally have that. And of course, there was the exception in there with the if there's violence and all that stuff, and it gives court's discretion and all that stuff. But this does give the ability for the parent, the person that doesn't have the child, time with their child on video conferences, at least 15 minutes, not more than 60 minutes in length. Takes place, Tuesday and Wednesday. There's little things in here, specifically the bill, which I include in the feed or whatever, so you can check out the specifics on that. But I just wanted to provide kind of the highlight. Hey, this is something that's available now. They are specific here, talking about Section D here. The court may not consider the availability of video conferencing as a factor in determining child support. So again, that's the cash cow for the family law industry. So they're not going to do anything that's going to reduce that child support number. And of course, we've already talked about the retroactives and the preborn and all the new fun stuff that's coming down the pipe. Actually, I just before I jumped on here, I released a reel on the Pissed Off Parents site. On the Facebook page, just congratulating the GOP and our ladies on what they're going to be doing to men and boys from here on out. When this bill passes, so golf clap for all the ladies and all the guys. Let it happen because we need to get more people involved, and people don't want to. But anywho, this bill here is actually a good one, and again, it came from Rep Ramos, and everyone knows that I'm not her biggest supporter. I've spent considerable amount of time calling the shenanigans out, but this is one where give credit where credit's due. That it's going to looks like it's something actually good for parents and children to find a new avenue to spend time with their child when they're not able to be physically with them. They can actually do video chats. There's little pieces in there, but I would recommend checking that out. Go to legiscan.com or check the link out, and you can actually put in your keywords and find out kind of what your representatives are doing. And it's just so weird that we've got a Democrat. Let's just call it what it is: a Democrat that appears to give more of a care for children than the Republicans, because again, the Republicans are showering the House and the Senate with bills getting that money, that Title 40 money through the retroactive child support and all that stuff. Which again, need to get more people involved, or it's not going to change, and then you guys are going to be in a huge world of hurt when that bill passes. So get ready. And other people have talked about it, but when people don't get involved and all this comes down and people start getting really hosed and dumpstered and just all this bad stuff happens, it's going to be too late. All the whining and all the people jumping on all the chats and whining about the horrible, can't believe that some lady who I don't even know named me as a child and now I'm on the hook for child support retroactively back 5 years, and I've got to pay for, she doesn't want to get a job because she's hurting and all that. Let's see, sorry, I got a comment here. I'll actually post it up here. And thank everyone for watching. Definitely want to have that. But once this goes through, it's over. It's going to be impossible to get that repealed and changed out, because the government will now have increased their Title 4D funding. That this is what could be happening. But what that retroactive child support bill is going to allow people to do, women to do, is to name any man as the father. You really can't fight it. You already know this. And they're going to be able to name anyone they want as the child, and you're going to get nailed. And you're going to spend thousands of dollars if you are able to even fight the DNA and fight everything else in order to ensure or make sure that the child's not yours. And they won't. It doesn't appear they're going to even try to put the language in. People that have been reaching out to them saying, "Hey, at least insert the DNA language in there," which again is 100% safe for the mother and the child. At 8 weeks, they can get a DNA test that's not invasive. In the they're getting their normal blood work done. They can find out who the father is, and that should be going forward. That would that would actually make this hurt a little bit less, because what, if you had the fun and you create a child, you would need to pay for it. But they don't even want to do that, and we all know why. So there's that piece of it. Actually, I'm going to pull up some comments here. Let me pull up this comment here from Marty Womack. That's great to know. Appreciate you bringing to my attention. Really have an uphill battle trying to be part of my 5-year-old son's life. Yeah, I don't know what state you're in. I'll assume Texas, but as a dad, you are... nationally, it's in the 90 percentile where fathers don't get equal shared custody or anywhere close to that. We get the standard possession is called different things in different states, but it basically boils down to, I think, like 17 to 20% of the time. The child, of course, they have figured out the one thing they want from you, which is all of your money, since I'm sure you're paying an exorbitant amount of child support, and then trying to fight that and be in child's life and exist and do all those things. But and my request really to Marty and everyone else out there is to get this stuff out. I don't care if you use my stuff, anyone else. I don't care whose information goes out there. The information needs to get out to everybody, all Texans all across America. But let's just pick on Texas here, because we're at the forefront of this one. That we need to get this information out there so people wake up and realize that this is not going to go away and only get worse. Again, in September, when these bills pass, there's just going to be a flooding of you're the baby daddy, and all these people are going to have to fight in order to try to get their name off the certificate or not get named as the father. That is coming There is, and it's not a tinfoil hat. It's not a oh, it couldn't possibly be that bad. We see this every day. If anyone's ever watched Maury Povich, you know just how bad this is going to get. And the legislators, who are mostly family law attorneys, they're not going to argue about it or get upset because that's money for their practice. They're going to make money off of this. The JJFI, we just found out, or I just found out and reported on it yesterday, that Harold Dutton Jr., who's no stranger to that role, he is the head, the chair of the JJFI. Now, he's killed equal shared parenting bills because he received a mean voicemail or something that scared him. And other things like that over the last 20 years. I think that bill was like 12 years ago when that all those shenanigans happened. He's going to be put in charge there. And again, I showed that picture of him and the president of the Family Law Foundation giving, I don't know who was giving who the award. I didn't get the context of the picture. But someone was giving someone an award. When you've got the head of the Family Law Foundation and the now head, or well, he at the time I'm sure he was, but the head of the JJFI that's going to be doing these bills, there's something wrong there, something big wrong, and we've already got the law in place to where they can't. I'm using all my uhs again. They can't vote on bills and things that they have direct conflict of interest in. This was raised in the last session where I think it was like half of the people in the JJFI were family law attorneys, and they're all voting on what to do with all these different things. No one cares. But that's where it's going to take the people to get out there and fight this stuff. I've got a comment here from Mark. Democrat helped us in California. No Republican support for license suspension. Bill 1055 passed through. I mean, this is one of those things. I mean, I'm a hardcore conservative. I think it's fairly obvious if you've listened to any of my stuff or talked to me or whatever. I am not a fan of the Republican Party at all anymore. I would, I guess, identify as libertarian if I had to throw my name into one of the three. But the Republicans, they present themselves as conservatives, family values, and all of the things that they do are nowhere close to family value oriented. It's their own pocketbook, and they're lying to everybody and getting away with it. But yeah, thanks, Mark, for that comment. We've got another one here. Let's see here. Morgan versus Morgan case. Not Jeff Morgan, but there was another Morgan out there. Morgan versus Morgan case out of New York. For protecting against parental gatekeeping, dad was relieved of his child support obligation and keeping all of his parental rights due to mom's noncompliance with court orders. Yeah, that's out of New York. And again, they can use as precedent down here in Texas. Texas, as we all know, again, 96%, 93, 90, in the mid 90s, 90 some odd percent of fathers are the weekend warriors, the Disneyland dads, which I can't call it. I guess it'd be more like Dollar General Tree or whatever store dads, because they're broke after being crushed through Texas's child support nuttiness. But yeah, I mean, that'd be a good law. But again, with what information we have when dealing with these judges, you can't expect any type of fairness. I mean, you're going to have to go there and expect everyone that's against you, your own attorney, the judge, and everyone else, to do the right thing, like preserving their records and having it go through an appeals process, which is also very expensive, and then expect to get some type of relief there, but they're going to get the hope that they preserve the record in the first trial and all the shenanigans. I mean, the cases the ones that we even have access to, just show unbelievable shenanigans across the board. And there's just no hope in sight. I mean, at this point, kind of the focus, is our legislators doing their shenanigans, like to call them that. You need to get with the legislators and tell them peacefully, no violence, what you think of this. And to make it positive at this point, or just kind of turn it around, because there's so much doom and gloom, rightfully so, because of what's going on. What we've allowed to have happen is to reach out to Rep. Ramos. Again, I'm shocked that if you would have asked me a year ago if I'd ever be giving an applause to Rep. Ramos on a bill, I would have told you were nuts. The fact that she's put this bill through. Now, I mean, we'll see where it goes and all that. But even knowing what I know about all the different pieces, the fact that this bill's actually been pushed out there is kind of shocking, especially from Rep. Ramos. again, congratulations are in order. I mean, if you get an opportunity, I would call, email. This may open up some conversation. Who knows? Uh, get in touch with her office, 512-463-0454, and let her know, hey, thank you for putting Bill HB 1923 out there. That's a great thing all the way around. Especially with what we're dealing with now, with all the other crazy bills that are coming down. Who knows? I mean, maybe with the other stuff I know about Ramos and stuff like that, or recent information, Ramos may end up being an advocate or someone that would work with us to do that. And again, if you remember correctly, in a previous one we had, oh boy, I cannot remember her name. I made a number of videos about her, but she was. This is I think 6 years ago. She actually called the Family Law Foundation to town. I mean, just obliterated this guy, and actually the presidents went after, did a great job, and she was a Democrat. Now they bought her off, they paid her off, and everything afterwards, but. During that whole thing, I mean, she did a great job calling them on their nonsense, and that was great. Democrat. I mean, to be an R or a D or an L, a big L, it almost doesn't matter. You can't just go down. You got to get involved with this stuff and reach out to your legislators. I would again ask everyone, whoever is seeing this, whenever you see this, whatever, to get in contact with your legislators and tell them, this retroactive child support stuff is complete nonsense. This is Title 4D, and again, I'll say it again, they all know about Title 4D. I don't know how many times I have to say it. If I get one more message from someone that actually has contacted their legislator and was told that they knew nothing about it, I'm going to scream. They all know about Title 4D. They all know how this works. This is the game that they play. I've shown what they've done a number of times. They play dumb. Let's see if we pop up the website here real quick, and I can show you. This is again on the gender changing thing and all that. But I want to show you. This was a text. Hopefully I got. Yep. This is a text. Screenshot of what they do, and again, this is about the whole gender stuff. But and actually, it talks about Texas legislators. So they co-author a bill, conservative bill that the liberal establishment doesn't want, but makes the legislature look conservative, constituents. And I hope everyone's remembering this stuff. Delay the bill in committee until the end of the session. Shocker! Tell over the work as soon as it's going through the process, and shrug. Ensure the bill will be killed in the calendar committee, even though any Republican on the committee can offer a motion to put any bill to a vote on the floor. The bill magically never gets a vote in the calendar committee. Tell constituents we ran out of time. Tell them how conservative we are to offer the bill, and even though they killed it behind the scenes, constituents are satisfied that we tried our best. Liberals, Texas establishment's happy that they blocked conservative legislation. Yada yada yada. Give me more money, and they go laughing all the way to the bank. That's just if anyone watching this has a clue on how this stuff works, I mean, this text message here, screenshot, should tell you exactly. I mean, and hopefully everyone's triggered because if they've been following these bills over the years and what happens in all this, that they see this and go, holy crap, that's what's happened every single time. So you go into your legislator and playing the game with them that they didn't know and all this other stuff, and they're BSing you to get you out the door. They're going to lie to you straight up. There's no other way to put that. I got another comment here from Marty. Okay, you're in Georgia. Actually, I hope you're watching Dad Talk today. That's actually in your backyard. It's a good show. Actually, I co-host with Eric on the weekends and stuff like that. But see, I'm from Georgia. This isn't my playground. I make carpet, or did for most of my adult life until COVID. But railroaded and just baffled by the way I can just be removed from my son's every day of his life. My attorneys like Chad. Is that right? Yeah. Again, I'm sure you know now, your attorneys are in on the scam. That's how it works. And it's funny, and I know this from talking to Eric, Carol, who is very involved with that in Georgia, is that none of the Republicans would talk to him. He actually got some traction talking to a Democrat. I think Georgia is trying to shoot for another 50-50 bill, but again, under the whole thing that's going to happen here. I would trust any of them until the thing's signed. And then at the end of the day, they're going to do the same thing that DeSantis and Slick Rick did in Florida. The thing got all the way through. It actually magically passed, and then Slick Rick and DeSantis, they're in the respect terms 3 times total, vetoed the bill. So if we get a bill passed, it then has to go in front of Mr. Abbott, who's this guy could care less about kids. So we've got that final hurdle, which that could kill the whole thing no matter how far we get. Again, it's all WWE wrestling and everything. Oh man, I've talked 20 minutes. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Before I sign off here, I wanted to ask. I've done a couple of these things ad hoc at this point, and on a couple different platforms. I've got no issue with researching some of this stuff, maybe like cleaning it up a little bit, but providing this information out to the general audience they can use and get this information and provide it to other people. But again, at the same time, I'm not going to waste all my time doing this if no one's going to watch it or take the information or do anything with it. So if you want to throw something down in the comments or reach out to me individually, it's over on Pissed Off Parent on the Facebook page, YouTube channel, Fire Stick, Roku, you name it, all over the place there, and say, hey, look, we want this. If I get enough interest, I'll maybe get a point to start doing these things with a regular cadence at a regular time and try to do some other podcasty type of stuff. But again, if I'm going to put it out there and no one's going to pay attention to it, and I know I sound a little bitter. I did a whole big push for my local area, but I think it got viewed like 100 and some odd times. We're trying to get the DA in, the right DA put in. It's just it fell on deaf ears. So thanks, Jason, appreciate it. It's one of those that lets me know that people give a crap and I shouldn't be playing video games or something. Anyway, and I hope everybody likes the new camera. I think it looks pretty dapper. It's kind of locking everything up there, so it's good stuff. Yeah, BJ Beardowski. Yeah, check out the website. Again, all free. Because and that's the thing. I mean, until we get millions of people that are going to fight this thing, not going to happen. They're not going to care. But yeah, one of the places I've been told is the best one around is pissedoffparent.com. All the information is free out there. It's got you name it on there. YouTube for videos. I'm on Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, all that good stuff. Just trying to get this information out. And again, at the end of the day, for anyone that is not on this side, that is like, he's an angry dad or whatever. Well, I am an angry dad. Let's not be. But just to give a quick rundown here, I'm not in the system anymore. Actually, I get paid child support. I have 100% custody of my child, and I receive child support every month. And so I'm like, less than the 6-4 whatever percent of Texans. And I'm just pissed off that that's why the pissed off parent. I'm just pissed off that this is actually happening and hurting men and boys. And I'm doing this for my kids. I'm not going to allow my kids to be raised up this. I want them to have families, and right now they can't. They won't. I mean, they've learned too much about how this works because I'm an inoculator. I make sure that they learn, and they're not gonna have kids. They're not gonna get married. They're not gonna do any of that nonsense because it's the worst. It's the worst mistake anyone could ever make in today's society as a man. As a woman, cash and prizes. So, although I will say that for the ladies, when you break up and trade in husband number one on husband number whatever, that guy that you're going to be going out with or whatever, he's probably going through this that you were having fun on the other side for. So you're going to then experience, and that's where we get most of the ladies on here. Then we get grandmas, and we get a few red pillars, red pill women, which they're like unicorns. They're out there. Of course, you got to vet them out and make sure they're actual red pillars, not the fakers that are hypergaming their way in. But whole other topic there. I'll stop my rant before I get everybody shut down here. Anyway, hope everybody's having a great day. Be sure to check out the website. Please reach out. Actually, reach out to Ramos. I'll put her information up again. Give her a good job. This was one surprising, but give her a holler at 512-463-0454 and give her congratulations on the bill. We need more like them, so all good. Anyway, I hope everybody's having a good having a good day. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk to you all later.